Well, clearly we struck a nerve. Go figure that when you cover crime, corruption, and money, it upsets people who like money. This is Bloomberg. Bloomberg likes money. I came out here at 5 a.m. this morning to make sure, and it sure seems like they have a lot of it. Bloomberg filed an illegitimate and invalid copyright strike against our 3.5-hour-long movie about the AI GPU black market earlier this week, and our attorneys have prepared a response, but it's written in legalese, and I thought it might be better to explain our response to Bloomberg to our audience by using a more universal language. Now, the safest thing to do would be to accept the strike, wait 90 days, and then say nothing of it ever again. But first of all, I've got New York's angriest defector who's saying this.
I hope that Steve Burke goes to Bloomberg and gives them a piece of his mind. I hope he has to speak to their legal department. If they don't solve the issue, I hope he finds a lawyer. If he doesn't find a lawyer, I'll find one for him. Because this is bullshit.
Hopefully he doesn't copyright strike me. And secondly, does that sound like us, to just say nothing of it ever again? You can get a free copy of our movie included with backer tier orders on store.gamersnexus.net. Our content is pushing enough buttons that large corporate bootlickers are abusing copyright systems to take it down. Just like the black market GPUs, you can get your own black market copy of the first ever GamersNexus full feature movie on the store by buying one of our backer tiers. These include different types of products, like our Turn a Blind Eye t-shirt that says the Chinese idiom uttered every time we asked those in the illicit GPU supply chain if NVIDIA is aware of export control violations. Our Kingpin backer tier includes a tube of Kingpin thermal paste, a GPU paper launch t-shirt in addition to the blind eye and blacklisted shirts for that tier, a 4-pack of our brand new GPU VRAM glassware with gold halo, and more. It even includes a special upcoming small group Q&A session with me. Or you can grab the Fence tier, which has the pint glass, a bonus video, a black market sticker pack, blind eye t-shirt, and wallpapers. Every one of these tiers comes with a free copy of our movie that we're writing to 128GB USB keys. So you also get a usable, large capacity USB key, allowing you to preserve our movie in your collection, no matter who strikes it next. Finally, our Honey Pot t-shirt is a charity shirt where we donate its profit to multiple organizations, one of which is archive.org, which assisted in preserving our movie and feels fitting here. We're happy to share that profit with them. Head over to the store to support our ability to fight against censorship by large corporations. Bloomberg said it wasn't appropriate to call them with questions. They must prefer the old-fashioned way, face-to-face conversation.
Whatever's out there, stuff like that, please don't bring Bloomberg into your business. That's all.
But they're the ones who brought us into their business.
How's that?
Because they filed a copyright strike on us. Bloomberg filed a copyright strike that deleted our NVIDIA AI GPU black market smuggling investigation video from YouTube. They claim the reason for this is that we had an attributed clip of US President Donald Trump speaking about the unban of NVIDIA's H20 GPU, placed at minute 22 until 23:15 in the video, which includes some of our own studio recorded voiceover. The clip we included is absolutely 100% within our fair use rights for inclusion and is not a creative work by Bloomberg. It is not copyright infringement. It's allowed. This was an abuse and continues to be an abuse of the copy strike system on YouTube by Bloomberg. Our attorneys have sent Bloomberg a demand letter and have filed a counterclaim with YouTube. YouTube has accepted our counterclaim, which means our video will go back online in about 10 days, unless Bloomberg produces evidence to YouTube that it has filed a lawsuit against us. Presently, they haven't done that. When we reported on what the United States president said and used the TV clip to prove he said it rather than just ask you to take our word for it, it was newsworthy, transformative. It included reporting and criticism, conveyance of news, technical context Bloomberg does not provide, especially given its tragic history with fucking up the Supermicro story, and even included parody near the claimed area. Bloomberg struck us over about 0.5% of content, and that part was under fair use. And we're not the only ones who think so. Friend of the channel and consumer advocate Louis Rossman had this to say.
This is a really slippery slope to go down. What, are we just going to accept that this is normal, that if one outlet records the president speaking, that outlet now has a monopoly on who is able to quote the president? It's insane. How are you supposed to demonstrate and prove that the president said this in your video if you can't use my recording of the president speaking? And if fair use is to mean anything at all, it would apply to when the Commander-in-Chief of the United States is speaking on a topic of relevance to a documentary. What is fair use for if you can't use it to quote the president speaking?
He's not alone either. Coverage from copyright attorney Leonard French also explores this topic.
If I'm right, and I'm right a lot, then the GamersNexus video is objectively a fair use, and it will be just a matter of how at this point. How do you convince Bloomberg to drop the claim? How do you get YouTube to put the video back up?
Copyright strikes are serious. You get 3 of them until your channel is terminated by YouTube. Abuse of this system also acts as a suppression, because if Bloomberg doesn't intend to file a lawsuit, it still gets the benefit of suppressing us for around 12 to 13 total days, which obliterates video momentum even if it does go back online. And it certainly helps them drive more views to their competing video in the meantime. You can see here that their views per day dropped by 50% within just a few days of us publishing our AI GPU investigation. The first full day we were offline because of them, their traffic increased by 13% within 24 hours, which is very abnormal for a video that's already been up. The timeline is simple. A $15 billion per year publication, Bloomberg, filed the copyright strike claiming 75 seconds out of 209 minutes of content, all of which our attorneys will vigorously defend as transformative and fair use. The claim seized our ad revenue. It'll give it to the $15 billion per year megacorporation, Bloomberg. We called Bloomberg attorneys to confirm it was them and not a spoofed filing. Bloomberg's attorneys manually confirmed with us the copyright strike and then barked at us on the phone because they said it's inappropriate for us to call them. Our attorneys helped us file a counterclaim on the same day. Next, I asked Vitalii what he's doing 12 hours from now. At 5 a.m. on Friday, August 22nd, Vitalii and I went on our next big adventure, got on a plane to New York City, and went to meet our new friends. This is one of them. This unmarked Bloomberg security guard followed us around and monitored us across multiple city blocks while we were nearby. Where's their logo?
On the left, yep.
Is it in shot? What's that? We are not from Bloomberg. It's a public sidewalk, so. And you'll even see them regularly appear in the background of some of our shots, as we must have made someone very uncomfortable with our presence.
I think Phil bringing the backup.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he coming back out? So I think what we'll do is, just to be extra safe, I'm gonna walk on the street in that turn lane, just so I'm 100% not on their property if you wanna follow me. And then I'm gonna stop on the other side of this, you know, this block they have on the ground where it changes. I'm gonna go on the other side of the sidewalk. While we were in the area, a Bloomberg employee said this.
Good luck with the copyright. It is fair use. So.
And by 11 a.m., we got to say hi to Bloomberg Security.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, Bloomberg Security.
By 12 p.m., we saw our copyright counterclaim was approved by YouTube. 1 p.m., Bloomberg told us we have to ask them permission anytime we show Bloomberg, and then admitted to us that Bloomberg retroactively changes its content after publishing, which is very interesting for a whole new host of reasons that we'll save for the future. Around 3 p.m., Bloomberg told our attorneys that they'd be happy to release the strike if we pay them a licensing fee in what felt to us like a shakedown. It's interesting to us though, because we've covered Bloomberg reports a lot in the past. I've appeared on their podcast and I've made them money. So it's interesting because Bloomberg didn't have a problem with us covering them in the past. So we started trying to figure out what motive Bloomberg could possibly have for an illegitimate copyright strike. Bloomberg has teams of lawyers. Maybe they're used to steamrolling smaller media. Maybe they're pulling the ladder up after them, or maybe they're nervous, jealous of new media that's more agile and more capable of getting the job done. We're not really sure what their motive was, but we came out here to try and figure it out. As one possibility, maybe Bloomberg copyright struck our video because it recently had a failed attempt to do what we did successfully. It flew all the way out to China to try and find AI GPUs and server racks, failed to do so, had its access revoked, and then filmed a bunch of footage of sand in a desert. So could it be because of their pathetic botched attempts at doing what we did when they flew out to China, were unable to find anything they went looking for, filmed a bunch of sand in a desert, failed to provide any answers to the questions they were asking, and then came back empty-handed? Bloomberg's own viewers certainly had questions. They wrote things like this. Why is this a story? Bloomberg's big investigation is just China's building some data centers. We don't know what chips they use. Groundbreaking journalism. If you don't know, then you don't have a story. Reporting without any information. WTF, I thought they would actually show us real chips being used. Worthless information. By the way, that information I found on satellite maps as well without wasting so much money. And the best one, quote, the entire video basically Bloomberg don't know. So while we don't know exactly what Bloomberg's motive was, it certainly seems like not knowing is enough of a foundation for them to publish a story. Maybe it's not, because their video gets more views from copyright striking our video. Maybe also it's just a coincidence that the first time Bloomberg has a problem with our reporting, it has to do with what we think is underground government corruption by NVIDIA, which just happens to be a big sponsor of Bloomberg. Bloomberg's financial interests are so intertwined with NVIDIA that it has an entire page dedicated to NVIDIA's sponsored content. Bloomberg's sponsored, paid-for content goes through great lengths to market NVIDIA's products, and in particular, its AI products that we've frequently criticized. After all, CEO Jensen Huang frequently appears on Bloomberg. He even had a trip to Taiwan the day after our video was pulled from the internet, with a lot of local Taiwan media talking about our story in relation to NVIDIA.
透过画面来了解这些晶片如何突破美国的管制，进到了中国的市场。只是没有想到，影片上架没几天就被平台以违反数位千禧年著作权法，昨天遭到无预警的下架。频道发布了官方声明，说著作权法系统遭到滥用，同时是不是也代表影片内容戳破了什么不能说的秘密呢？
H20, I'm very grateful that the U.S. government, the Trump administration, has approved licenses for us to export H20s to China.
As she said, what unspeakable secret was revealed? But maybe not. They could be totally unrelated. Maybe there's no bias there at all. Maybe NVIDIA isn't pulling any of its own strings. Perhaps instead, Bloomberg didn't like our coverage of China circumventing export controls because Bloomberg wants to protect its access to China. Bloomberg has been accused of suppressing its own China coverage in the past because it has a large presence in China to protect, with the Financial Times and New York Times both reporting on this. Maybe, as Lewis highlighted, it's because Bloomberg has been accused of trying to ruin reporters, including threats to financially devastate families, that's a quote, for challenging coverage in China. It could also be because Bloomberg is sponsored by Singapore's government, which happens to be one of the major channels we showed through which GPUs are smuggled into China. Maybe it was because recently they wrote a sponsored post wherein they praised PayPal's business growth and gave PayPal's CEO a platform. PayPal, of course, being the company that we recently filed a lawsuit against alleging theft from content creators. But maybe it's not that either. Perhaps Bloomberg copyright struck us because it wants to maintain control over a single platform to filter all political commentary through, disallowing the re-reporting of that commentary from presidents or politicians through a different political lens. No, that'd be state-controlled media behavior. That'd be like propaganda and manipulation of the US populace and their ability to consume sources of information about their own government. The truth is, we're not sure why they chose to copyright strike that video. It sure seems, though, like they have a lot of reasons to do it. And not one of them is a valid, legitimate copyright claim of the clip that they flagged. And so we called Bloomberg Legal to confirm that Bloomberg takedowns at gmail.com was in fact controlled by Bloomberg. And I was met with a rude response from the legal team, telling us that we needed to communicate to them only through lawyers. But they did confirm that this is a Bloomberg address, and they also confirmed that they manually reviewed the strike. They, in fact, manually reviewed the strike while I was on the phone with them. So someone has looked at this. And since they won't let us ask them questions via the phone, I guess we'll just do it here. Look, we can all predict the most likely outcome of walking in those doors with a camera, but you never know, and it's worth trying. In fact, when we researched it before flying out there, we found an article from Business Insider where their reporter said he got yelled at just for taking photos of sculptures in the lobby. Let's not pretend that getting kicked out would be a shock. But again, we wanted to try and get someone from PR or legal downstairs. We're here for an interview. Bloomberg with Paul. My ID? Yeah. Should be Paul. Madeline would also work. We were asked to sit while they phoned the two lawyers whose names I gave. Like, this guy is important. This guy knows like a lot of politicians. I'm curious to see what they'll do. After what felt like an eternity, the lawyers sent security down. Again, no surprise.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi. Bloomberg Security.
Okay, and are you able to see if they're able to slot us
I
in?
will. I'll give them a call.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Security clearly was given their side of the story, and we recognize he probably doesn't get paid enough to deal with this shit. So we kept everything polite while explaining our side and just asked if he could try to make contact with them.
Okay, John. So, I don't know all the business you're related into, but apparently you posted some kind of video that has some Bloomberg content in it.
I think so.
Yeah, and they listen. They have no issue. You seem like nice guys.
I get it. You're doing your job.
All they ask is that whatever's out there, stuff like that, please don't bring Bloomberg into your business. That's all.
But they're the ones who brought us into their business.
How's that?
Because they filed a copyright strike on us. The point of saying it is, it's not I'm bringing Bloomberg into my business. It's actually the other way around from our perspective.
Yeah.
But I understand you're doing your job. So
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they're not gonna meet with you.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We figured we'd try.
Yeah,
So.
and unfortunately, sorry to drag
Yeah.
you down here.
That's
You seem
all
like
right.
Nice guys.
That's
and
all right.
everything. But I wish you luck with your venture.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for understanding.
Well, no, I appreciate
We
you
appreciate it.
being cool with us.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Have a
Take
great
it easy.
weekend.
You too. Of course, the answer was expected. Security guy's not involved in this. He's just some guy. I'm sure he gets paid a fraction of what the assholes who filed that claim get paid. Like a fraction of what those assholes get paid. So it's not his fight.
He's right.
But we did get one really hard-hitting interview with a notorious street gangster. They call him the Pigeon. Sir, what do you think about Bloomberg? They're right across the street, sir. Yeah. No comment. No comment at all. And even though neither interview subject would speak to us, including this more important one, it's not like this was a wasted trip.
What now, Steve?
I didn't really think that far. I don't know. We could get pizza and then get home before 5 p.m.
Okay, let's go then.
All right, New York pizza. Besides, it was pretty cool meeting a few fans around New York and learning about their computers.
Yo, you the GamerNexus guy? Dude! My NZX T8 won!
Oh, really?
Because of you!
Oh, nice.
Like a man, bro.
Did you,
I got the second one.
Okay, good.
It's still very strong, bro.
I was just like, good. Yeah.
Get a selfie. It's fucking dope.
As for the movie, the best way to get a copy of it right now that's protected from being taken down would be to buy one of our backer tiers to get the supporter packs. These include a free 128GB USB key for hitting our stretch goal, and that includes a copy of the movie, so you can have a physical copy of it permanently, no matter who tries to take it down. And as for YouTube, the video will theoretically be back online in 10 business days, assuming Bloomberg doesn't try to file some sort of frivolous lawsuit in the meantime. Bloomberg's attempt to kill the movie means we need to kickstart the algorithm to get it circulating again once it's back online. Millions of people who would have seen the movie in the future may never even know it exists. So to try and get even a fraction of the views that it was on track to get from our back-end statistics, let's blow the movie up as soon as it goes live. Open it on your computer, let it play when you go to sleep, let it play at work, run it while you're commuting, even if it's on mute. Anything to tell the algorithm, hey, wait a minute, this thing's interesting even though it had 0 views for over 10 days. As a community, let's make sure Bloomberg doesn't succeed in what they were trying to do. We don't know the exact date it'll go back up, but it should be again in about 10 business days. As for Bloomberg, we've learned a lot about this organization that we're really curious to investigate. When we get to that, you'll be able to find most of it on our GNCA channel. We'll link that below. You can subscribe to that one if you'd like to get the follow-ups that don't directly fit the hardware theming, although we do have a lead there as well. A huge thanks to our viewers for supporting us and for making all of this worth it, even with the bullshit we're dealing with right now. Head over to store.gamersnexus.net if you'd like to get a copy with the backer tiers, subscribe for more, and we'll see you all next time.